Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Madison Charlton from MOC Tech, and now Nvidia are doing it again where they are relaunching a new version of a graphics card with it being a completely different graphics card. So sit back and relax as we dive into the specs and the release of the RTX 3050 6GB edition. So Nvidia is gearing up to release a new addition to its graphics card lineup, that being the RTX 3050 6GB. And this is expected to launch in only the next few weeks. But it's very different from the original 3050 with 8GB of VRAM. And that launched all the way back in January 2022. And this model is completely different, featuring reduced pretty much everything. A reduced core count, a reduced memory size, bandwidth and power. And it shouldn't be something that should have the 3050 name at all. But if anything, this is more like an RTX 3040. But for some reason, Nvidia are so scared to go back to the 40 naming schemes. So let's look at how this card actually differs from the original. So in terms of CUDA core count, we go from 2560 all the way down to 2304. The memory goes down to 8 to 6. The bandwidth of that goes down to 224GB a second, down to 168GB a second. The GPU clock is also significantly reduced from 1552 all the way down to 1042 MHz. But it is important to note that the TDP goes down from 130 to 70 watts, so this could be potentially the saving grace of this GPU. When it comes to the space of tech, there is never such a thing as a bad product, only a bad price, and the value proposition of this card remains to be seen, but if it launches at a pretty good price, then it could be a good move by Nvidia. But at the moment, it's rumored to launch for $179 US, which, if that proves to be true, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever if it really did launch for this price. Looking at the specs of this GPU, it's rumoured that the performance could be comparable to something like a Nvidia 1650, but if it did launch at $179, it would effectively make this card dead on arrival. With there being some great options from competitors such as Intel and then AMD. For example, if this was to release for $179, I would have a tough time recommending this card opposed to getting something like an AMD RX 6600 XT. If you have around $180 to $200 to spend on a GPU, then that would be the one I would most certainly recommend to you. But if this GPU were to release around the $120 mark, then maybe it could be a good value proposition and could be worth picking up. And let's go back to the other potential saving grace of this GPU, and that being the 70 watt TDP. I'm hoping with this TDP, it means there will be no need for any external power connectors, so it could be the return of the ultimate low power single slot GPUs, which could be a great card to upgrade any old desktop PC, such as like an old Intel Optiplex or Inspiron, where you're able to just take any card and plug it into the PCI slot, and you could turn any little office PC into a gaming PC. Which I would love to see a return of GPUs that are capable of doing this. As if this proves to be the case, this would actually be a good reason to buy this GPU. Now, I said I would recommend the 6600 XT from AMD over this card potentially, but that draws a lot more power and requires external power connectors. So for the ultra low power small form factor GPUs, then it wouldn't be as fair to compare. But I really hope that my theory and idea of this being a low profile, low TDP card proves to be true, as this would actually make this card an actual viable option for a lot of PCs out there. But if this isn't a low profile card and still requires external power connectors, then I don't see this card being of any use to anyone, to be honest with you. And with the launch of AMD's 8000 line of APUs, which is expected to have a level of performance greater than that of a 1650, and this GPU on paper is also expected to have similar levels of performance to a 1650, then it would make this card absolutely obsolete. But like I said, the only saving grace of this GPU would be its low TDP, and for upgrading older systems with tight power budgets and also tight space restrictions as well. And I really hope that this GPU is more than just a complete waste of sand, but being Nvidia and how they treated the low end market, it's not looking too good. But one can only hope that Nvidia will come to some real world realization of the GPU market, but I wouldn't hold out for it. Of course, you've got to have some faith and level of hope that this could prove to be a decent card if all of the speculation I listed beforehand proves to be true. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions on the launch of the 3056GB in the comments down below. Do you think that this will be a complete waste of a GPU, or do you think if it launches for the right price in the right form factor and power budgets, then it could be a potential great little card for the reasons I've already mentioned in today's video? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, I have been Madison Charlton from MLC Tech. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it in any way, shape or form, make sure to give this video a like and maybe subscribe for more content like this in the future. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye for now.